Yo. I want to say welcome, everybody, to Interviews with a Purpose. And I want to first say thank you to my boy, Zachary, for coming here and being a part of this, being something bigger than himself. Thank you for your donation. We are going to definitely be feeding some hungry people with that. And I love starting that off with that because it gives nothing but good vibes, good attitude, and lets everybody know what we're doing here.
100%.
Let the people know about yourself. This is the insurance man of the Midwest. So if you guys need anything, he's going to go ahead and describe what he does. And dude, he's a wonderful soul. So I really highly advise for you to protect your life, protect your assets, and get with my man. He's going to go ahead and introduce himself now.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. So, first off, I'm Zachary. I've been in the insurance business just about 5 years now. I'm actually one of the district sales managers in Indiana. So, I'm one of the only people in the Indiana area trying to rebuild the area and just get a name for ourselves. You know what I
100%.
mean? But I've been in the insurance business, like I said, 5 years, but started out as an agent, really couldn't help people out the way I wanted to help people out. So I ended up finding this company, North American Senior Benefits, just over 2 years ago. It's been such a blessing, man.
Dude, that's
It's
fire.
changed my life. And more importantly, because of this company, I've been able to change the lives of the people around me.
That's
And
awesome.
that's what means the most to me. So working with this company, we are the number one IMO in America. So it's
Ooh,
huge.
that's awesome.
We represent, all the top state regulated companies in Indiana. Every company we represent, we're number one with.
Ooh, that's awesome.
So we are just the fastest growing company in the country right now. So it's really great to be a part of it. I'm able, like I said, able to help out anybody from the ages of 14 days all the way up to 89.
Wow.
Representing as many companies as I can. It doesn't matter with, low income, pre-existing health conditions. It really doesn't matter. We always have a policy that can fit your needs. So wonderful opportunity, and I'm excited to be able to help out everyone in the area.
That's amazing, man. I love to hear that. Let the people know what type of insurance it is that you specialize in and some different maybe plans or different things that they might be interested
Yeah, so
in.
mainly I really focus on life insurance.
Okay.
For me, that's the bread and the butter. I am licensed in health. I do
Okay.
do a lot of health insurance. People who are on Medicare under 65, if you needed health insurance, I can get that for you.
Okay.
However, that's just not my main focus because everybody can get health insurance.
100%.
The
100%.
issue is I run into so many people who have life insurance, but they got the wrong type.
Uh,
So being able to sit down and educate my clients and let them know the different types of policies that are available and different companies that they have access to. So it's all about options in this industry.
100%.
So I really, like I said, I focus on the life insurance when it comes down to it. But, there's just so many different types of life insurance and not many people are aware.
Right.
A lot of people, when it comes to shopping, they like to price shop.
Right.
Everyone
No,
likes the
that's true.
cheapest product. When it comes to life insurance, you're protecting your life, you're protecting your family. It's not something you always want to go price shopping for.
No, that's
You want to
100%.
shop value. So depending on ages, depending on health conditions, we have multiple different types of products. For the older clients, we focus on the whole life,
Okay.
something that's going to be permanent, locked in for life, premiums never increase, and they build equity.
Oh, that's
We like
fire.
to kind of call it like a layaway program, like from Walmart. Everyone's familiar with those. So with the whole life, every payment you make, you build this cash value, and eventually you can own your policy. So just like a house, just like a car, you're not meant to pay for it your entire life.
Right.
So with whole life, it gives you those ownership options. So you pay for it for so many years, eventually you own it, and you never have to make another payment for it.
Dude, that's
That money's
fire.
just sitting there waiting for you when the time comes, when the good Lord calls you home. Um, but when it comes to the younger generation, it really just kind of depends. There's
Hmm.
there's a popular product called term insurance. Everyone likes the term insurance because it's so cheap.
It is.
Oh, I got $100,000 of coverage for $20 a month. Doesn't make sense.
Right.
So
You gotta weigh your
weigh your
options, man.
options.
Definitely.
And one thing I'd even say, because everybody's got their Google degree, right? Everyone loves Google.
You ain't like, you're not
I
like that.
tell
I'm gonna start
everybody,
using that one
I'm gonna
Google
tell you,
degree.
man, tell everybody right now, anybody who watches, anybody listening, anybody who's just interested, go ahead and hop on Google and type in what percent of term life insurance pays out. The reality of it is less than 1% of those term policies pay out.
Wow.
The reason is because term insurance actually wasn't called term insurance. When it was introduced in the 90s, it was introduced as mortgage protection. You have a term for a certain length of time.
That makes
So
sense.
if you buy a house, for 30-year mortgage on a
Right.
$100,000 mortgage, you would buy a 30-year term worth
That
$100,000.
makes sense.
So if you pass away during those 30 years, there's money to pay off that mortgage so your spouse, your family, your kids don't have to lose their husband, lose their spouse, and lose their house as well. So, or lose their
Mm,
husband, lose their dad, and then lose their house as well. So
right.
that's where the mortgage protection came in. However, sometime in the 2000s, it just because it terminates and it's good for a certain length of term, they just started calling it term insurance. And people started buying it because they can get all this coverage for this
Sure.
amount of money. That's one of the biggest things I run into when I run into my clients is they have this term insurance and they actually don't realize it's term. They think it's permanent. So sitting down with them and uncovering it, doing a policy review, checking everything over, making sure they've got all the ins and the outs, we actually uncover a lot of problems with a lot of these clients'
Definitely.
policies that they've got. Then there's a third policy that's pretty popular. I'm sure anybody in, our age group is going to be familiar. They've heard of this infinite banking system through life insurance, right? It's true. You very well can. You can overfund a life insurance policy and almost create your own banking system to where you
Wow.
can have your own income to where your policy will build a certain interest rate. Now you'll take a loan on your money, but the interest rate that it's accruing is more than what your interest rate loan is. So
Wow.
your interest will actually start to pay your policy back, so you don't have to. So it is an infinite banking system that people talk about. However, so many people see on TikTok, on friends, not hearing
Exactly.
from the right
Right.
popular right person, getting that right resource, and they think they can do this with, $50, $100 a month. And it doesn't work like that. Most of these you're spending $500 to $1,000 a month to overfund this policy, but you don't ever lose money in the end, so it works out.
Okay. So one of the major keys I got out of this conversation is that you guys have to understand is knowledge is power. Knowledge is key. And the thing is, your TikTok isn't your knowledge.
Yeah,
Your Facebook isn't knowledge. Knowledge is coming from a person that's in the field, that's actually doing this day in, day out, that is going to give you the pros and cons of all the different policies that you are offered. A lot of people are in it for themselves and they're just trying to get a term policy, just trying to get people turned over, and that is not the way to do it. To create a stable balance between family, friends, and creating connection between these people, you really have to give them some knowledge, some information, something that's going to benefit them for their whole life, or whether it be that term, that 30 years, you want them to know, because like you said, there's some people that don't even know that they have a term policy.
exactly. And for me, that's the key. For anyone that doesn't know, in order to be an insurance agent, you have to be licensed to the state.
Right,
So I go to the same place that doctors, lawyers, and teachers go to get their license. So this isn't something that they just hand out in Cracker Jack boxes
right, right.
anymore. So, and it's also something that a lot of people do get in it for the wrong reason. I'm not going to lie to you. Insurance agents make good money, but it's not about the money. It's about helping a family in need and getting the education. My rule of thumb in the business is if you help enough people get what they want in life, you'll get what you want in life in return.
Ooh, that's
So
fire.
when
I
you
like that
start
a
to
lot.
do that, it really, when you put the people first, that's what's important. And it shows, like I was telling you earlier, I've been able to sell as many policies I've had because of word of mouth. Sitting down and showing somebody I'm there and I care. I'm not there just to sell a product.
Right.
I'm there to help them out. For instance, just an example, I sat down with a client yesterday. She was paying $318 a month. You
Wow.
know, the reality of it was is that she didn't need that much coverage. After sitting down with her, she was so worried I was at her house to sell her insurance. But I mean, that's what my job is. But at the end of the day, I'm there to uncover any problems necessary.
Right.
If it's not broken, I'm not going to fix it. And I
That's
have no
fire.
problem admitting if someone's in a good position. It makes me feel great. You know what
That's
I mean?
awesome, man.
So I always give them my card and let them know. But after uncovering, sitting down, this lady was so healthy. Oh my gosh, she was so healthy. She took 2 prescriptions, sat down with her, uncovered everything. She was actually able to get double the amount of coverage for $100 less a month. And I got her a check in the mail that'll be at her house in about 10 days for $3,862 as a refund from her current insurance. She
Wow.
was just stressing about how Christmas and everything else took her money. Her rent was going up $84 a month starting in February, and I just saved her $100. So
Dude,
I just saved her increase in rent, plus was able to fund, protect that savings account a little bit, cushion it up a little bit with that refund from her other company
dude, that's
because she
fire.
just drained it from Christmas.
Dude,
So there's just so many things that we can do for these clients and they just don't realize it. A lot of people want to buy their insurance and just tuck it in a folder and leave it alone, never
right,
worry about it again.
right.
I encourage everybody, if you already have insurance, at least review it once a year. You never
100%.
know.
100%.
Insurance companies are changing, new products become available, no matter what it is, but year by year, get an annual review on your policy to make sure it's still the best thing available for you.
Dude, that's awesome. Some major keys out of this point I would love to point out is one, just because you have insurance doesn't mean that you shouldn't be talking to different brokers or different people to get the right knowledge and get the right plan for you. This man just saved this woman $100 a month and doubled her coverage and gave her a check of 3,000. That's just like mind blowing, dude. So like a lot of people think that, like you said, you're going there to sell. A lot of the time you're just tucking them in and making sure that they're comfortable, you know what I mean? And double checking for them. So,
100%.
they have to understand that it's not always about sell, sell, sell. I love that you're being more personable and, getting to know these people and understanding their situations, understanding their problems to try to maybe cut back or give them a little bit more or whatever. That's very, very key in your field. And I want to say thank you for what you're doing because
Absolutely.
it's definitely making a big difference, man. I've been seeing your name ringing around like crazy. I love seeing it. I love seeing you back on your health kick, man, dude.
Appreciate it.
From the before and after pictures, I'm like, dang, bro, he's getting fit. He's looking good.
Trying.
And I feel like everything just trickles in with that, whether it be work, play, everything. Once you start getting your mind, body, and soul in line, everything just starts coming into play. And, all these blessings just start coming your way. So,
It really does.
congratulations,
I
bro, man.
appreciate that, man. It does. It starts off with the gym, being able to wake up in the morning, get in the gym, get your mind right, start releasing those endorphins. That always
Dude,
starts you out in a good start of the day. But it's also I encourage everyone, man, read some books, man. Read some books. That's
dude.
where it's at, man. I've just finished my first book for the year, 20 days in, just finished my first book, but my goal is to at least read 12 books this year.
Ooh, that's a
I at
gem.
least want to read one book a month. And it's all about personal development, man. I've read some stuff about sales.
Fire.
I've read the book I just finished was The Five Love Languages in a Relationship.
Ooh, that's
That's all
fire.
about love and
Dude, that's
relationships.
fire.
So, I read stuff about personal development, sales, love, anything. But to be 100% honest with you, those five love languages book that I read, that's what really changed my mindset towards this business because
Ooh,
understanding someone's love language means so much. And it's not all about relationships, it's friendships,
right.
it's the clients. If you know that someone is, their love language is acts of service and you're there and taking care of these clients and showing them that your service is just another love, you're satisfying their love language, you know what I
Dude.
mean? So it's all about knowledge. Knowledge is power, knowledge is key. And the moment that you stop growing and stop learning is the moment your life comes to a halt, you know what I mean?
Stagnant, dude. So,
So that's
dude,
huge.
thank you for pointing that out, dude. That's probably one of the biggest keys that a lot of people are sleeping on is books, knowledge and power, and self-development. And you said it perfectly, releasing those endorphins, man. Dude, I don't know what it is, but after hitting the gym, after doing these hard things, it makes life so much easier.
It
It
does.
makes problems so much minute compared to what they used to be. We would get frustrated and just be ready to go stir crazy. Now it's just like I worked out already.
Yep.
It ain't
Brush it
nothing.
off,
Yeah, it's just another one.
And like I said, I go to the gym every morning, 8 a.m., drop my daughter off at school, 7:45, go straight to the gym. But, there's times where, just because I went to the gym doesn't mean I'm going to have a good day.
Right, 100%.
So there's still
We're
days where,
human.
something gets under my skin,
Right.
something, bothers me, but I'll go to the gym in the evening. And as soon as I leave the gym, it's just like you said, it's like, what problems? I don't even know what they are anymore because
Exactly.
just going there, releasing those endorphins and, taking your anger out, taking your problems out on the gym, on the weights, it's
Dude,
a healthy way to
swear.
manage your anger.
And for me, it helped me create my focus and get my focus down because I feel like a lot of the times I thought I was ADD or ADHD because I got to do like 10, 20 things. But I noticed the more I work out, the more I focus on my workout, the longer I'm able to focus on those attention spans. And the longer you're able to focus on things, the more you're able to really dominate some stuff, like make some stuff happen that you should take 2, 3 hours in an hour flat, 45 minutes flat. You're like, dang, I just knocked that out. What do I got to do now? Let's go have some fun
100%.
or do something and enjoy yourself.
That's what it's about too. Like I said, man, I go to like leaving the gym in the morning, I immediately leave, go home, shower, and then I immediately get ready for the day. You know, prior to me going to the gym every day, you know, I'm self-employed. I'm an independent contractor.
Right,
You know, so I make my own schedule. I work when I
right,
want, work when I don't want to.
right.
But prior to me being in the gym, man, I'd be home 5, 6 o'clock at night. You know, just I'm beat. I don't want to do anything. Last week, there was multiple days I didn't get home till 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night just because I was focused. I was ready to hit the next client.
Right.
It turns into almost like
A
a game for me. You know,
dude,
it's
I
like every
swear.
client I sit with, it's like a puzzle. You know, there's a puzzle and what missing piece are they
Dude, that's
missing and how
fire.
can I finish this puzzle to make it complete? So being able to do that, it turns into a game to see how many people I can help out in a day. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
that's
And
fire.
it's a wonderful feeling, man. But it all starts in the focus in the gym and like I said, reading books every night, waking up in the morning, hitting the gym, and focus starting and complete.
Dude, he said some amazing key points. He's been taking literally things that I say all the time right out of my brain. And it's like making these habits, whether you want to do it or not, and just doing it, it makes things easier. And turning these, goes for anybody, no matter what field you're in, turning these things into games so that we start having fun again, so that we start bringing that spark, that momentum, what got us started again. And that's what really separates the difference from somebody who loves what they're doing every day and makes it a passion of every single day, living, breathing, making a better purpose for themselves, everyone around them, and then somebody who's just out there to make money, somebody that's just trying to be money hungry, somebody that's focused on all the wrong reasons. They're going to get halted at one point in time.
100%.
And, I just want to say thank you for bringing these elements and thank you for showing the people what it takes to be a positive entrepreneur, a positive person in this community. It's not always, you know, doing what you expect. And this dude's touching so many lives and so many people. I'm grateful to have a friend like that, especially somebody iron sharpens iron. So when I see you go hit the gym, I'm like, man, I gotta go hit the gym. See you getting up early, man, I gotta go do that. So, turn your life into a game, make it something positive and make it something reinforceful for you guys so that we can constantly elevate. I think that's one thing that we get hard doing is constantly learning about sometimes the same thing, constantly learning about different things, but it's just like having different levels. You could read the same book 100 times and get 100 different things out of that same book because you weren't in the same mindset that you were in the beginning.
100%.
So, I just really want to point that out to you guys. What are one of the things that got you to insurance and that maybe you might be able to touch somebody that might bring them your way and get them into insurance? What got you sparked in this?
So nobody grows up wanting to be an insurance
Right,
agent. Nobody
right.
nobody wears the insurance agent costume on Halloween. You know, the reality of it is people fall into it. You know, most people in the insurance industry are lost, broke, and confused. They don't know where else to go. And it's a
Right.
sales job, it's independent. A lot of people fall into insurance. I was one of those people. You know, I actually could have gotten insurance about 7 years ago. I have a good friend of mine. He was in the insurance business. He offered me the job. I came on board. I signed up for the class, and then my fiance at the time got pregnant with my daughter, my firstborn. So I was going from a job making $400 a week to commission only, and it was really scary. About that same time, I had a company call me, offering me a job about $1,200 a week. I took it. The security, not
Right.
knowing a first-time father,
Right.
I took the security of taking that
Right.
$1,200 a week
100%.
paycheck. Every day since then, I kicked myself in the butt, man, just wondering like, where could I be? You know, I'm fighting this paycheck. I'm working for somebody else, making them successful. This doesn't
Dude,
make sense anymore.
swear.
So then I just decided one day, and I was lost. Was going through some things in my personal life, and I decided I had to take a leap. I had to take a leap. I was either going to continue to do the
Right.
same thing I was doing every day, which just meant my life was going to continue to be the same way it was,
Fire.
or I was going to take that leap of faith and put my faith in the Lord. You know what I mean? Let him know, be safe to know that he was not going to lead me down a path that I couldn't handle. And I think that's what was important for me. During that same time, my family was getting ran through with some insurance, and during that time, my mom and dad were going through some problems with their current insurance. They had some problems. They lost their insurance. They were paying quite a bit of money for prescriptions and doctor visits and everything. And I seen them, struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. And the reason they were living paycheck to paycheck was because of their insurance.
Wow.
And it broke my heart. So
Right.
about that time, I decided, you know what? I'm making this leap. I'm going into the insurance, and I'm going to be the reason my parents are going to be in a good position again.
That's fire.
So I jumped into the insurance industry, like I said, about almost 5 years ago. Started out with a company called Bankers Life. It was just an agency. For those that don't know, an agency, they work with one company. You either get approved or you
Mm,
get denied. With me being a broker, if you get denied with one company, I got, umpteen other companies I can get you approved with. So at Bankers Life, I still wasn't able to help them the way I wanted to help them.
right, right,
I was able to save them some money,
right,
get them into a better position, but not the best position they were able to be in.
right.
So that's when I found this company. And like I said, my life's just not been the same since, man. I dress different, I eat different, I walk different, I
Dude, that's
talk different, I
fire.
live different, man. House I live in is different, car I drive's different. Everything is because of this company, but it's all because I help people on a regular basis. Every single day I'm helping somebody, and that helping somebody else is leading me to where I want to be in life. It's grateful, man. I couldn't be any more grateful for the business. It's the key is being comfortable with being uncomfortable. The moment you become comfortable in life, you're not going to go anywhere else in life. Your comfort zone's right here, but what you want in life is right here. So you got to
Ooh,
grow your comfort zone and get uncomfortable. But once you do that, now what you want is still out here. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And the moment you do that, the moment your life will change.
dude, you are literally speaking the things I say every day, word for word, and it's reassuring. You are literally saying and doing the things that I try to preach to people day in and day out. And I just want to say thank you for bringing this because it's different hearing it from another person.
It
It's
is.
different hearing it from a different individual that's going through different things. And one of the biggest things I take away from that, or a couple different things, but one of the biggest keys I take away from that, but I want to tell you guys is that, that leap of faith is what's going to get you from that $400 or $500 paycheck to infinite amount of money that you did not know you could make. And it's by putting the faith in God and just really believing in yourself and taking the action to better yourself every day, never give up, and continuously grind. And you will start seeing this trickle effect, this snowball effect of just constant success coming your way. And people are like, how are you becoming successful, bro? How are you doing this? I can't tell you in one word. I can't tell you in one sentence. It's constantly getting up, constantly pushing the limit, constantly doing different things, and constantly being uncomfortable. Because exactly like you said it the perfect way. This is your comfort zone, and this is what you want out here. For you to get it, you have to go out of your comfort zone. And once you get there, there's going to be another point that it's uncomfortable. So you have to constantly be pushing that envelope. And I,
There's one thing you said, there's one word you said over and over and over, constantly. The key is consistency. As long as you're consistent with whatever you do, man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a nurse. It doesn't matter if you're in the factory business. It doesn't matter if you rotate tires or if you're working at Dollar General or flipping burgers for a living. Everything you do in life, you need to do it to your best ability. As long as you can do that in your best ability, people will see. People are going to notice.
right.
And networking is everything, man. Get to know other people. I know it's not usually the thing people like to hear, but you're gonna grow more in life by the conversations you have with other people than you ever will with an education. That's the truth.
It's so much true.
And one other thing that a point I wanted to make too is, you had said, always be growing and looking for the next level up. With that being said though too, is one thing that also changed my mindset is going to one of my work conferences. There was a gentleman, he's a pastor. He had actually went up on stage and he had said the power of the plateau. And for me that was huge because I'm always looking at the next level that I want to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times I'm so focused on that I don't enjoy the plateau that I'm at.
No, that's
When I
true.
really look back on my life 12 months ago, 18 months ago, 5 years ago, hell, 10 years ago, I don't even know who that Zachary is,
Right.
but looking back, I never would imagine that my life would be where it is being 28 years old. But with that being said, being able to take a step back, look at it from the, bird's eye view and just enjoy where I'm at in life,
100%.
but still be hungry for the next level. I'm prepared for my next level up. I'm ready to elevate, but I'm enjoying where I'm at in life, man, because three
Dude.
years ago, like I said, 6 months ago, man, I would have been so thankful to be where I'm at, wishing I could be here. And now that I'm here, I don't want to take it for granted
100%.
because I think that's huge. Is so many people get comfortable, they take it for granted, and you do want to live in the moment. You want to, enjoy the moment, but you also want to be ready to level up when God calls your time. You got
Ooh,
to be ready for it, but
100%.
don't ever be, don't become so overwhelmed and leveling up that you forget to enjoy where you're at too, because
Dude.
life's short, and that's one of the biggest things I've learned. Life is so short, and you got to enjoy every moment of it and live your life to the best life. It doesn't matter if you're driving your car, man. Sing and dance when you're in the car,
No,
man. Just have a good
100%.
time in everything you do, and life
100%.
will get better. A negative mind will never live a positive life.
Ooh, dude, my dude is speaking gems out here. Y'all gotta listen up to this interview, man. This is literally giving me chills because he's saying so many key things that I sometimes can't just say myself or just say it just to the camera. Thank you, bro. We
Yeah.
need to hear these things. I love the part that where you said literally enjoy what you're doing right now, but always be ready and focused for the future.
100%.
I think I sometimes have a hard time doing that because I'm such a go-getter and I'm such a like busybody that
Hmm.
sometimes I get lost in the moment. Like 6 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I was working at a dead end job. I knew it was a dead end job, but I needed to get some income in. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna work here, stack some bread. Da, da, da. The whole time I'm there, I'm miserable. I'm watching motivational videos. I'm doing all these other things, then focusing on the job. The job knew it. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna quit next month because I'm just, one, not doing good at this job, and two, I know it was a means to an end. It was
Yep.
just, to cover the gap. So then I start praying, I start doing all these things, and I'm like, man, God, like really just help me get back into my entrepreneur state, help me get back to myself, on my family, be able to control my finances, my income. So then, literally 1 week later after that, they fire me, right? And everybody would be mad that they got fired. I was grateful I got fired. I said, this is God telling me, boom, here's a foot up your
That's what it
butt.
was. And you know what? So many times I think we need to open our eyes to what, I don't care what your belief is, man, but you know what? For me, I found God this year. I did. I found
100%.
my church home.
I
Shout
love
out
that.
to Granger Community Church. God, I love them
Awesome.
so much. They're amazing. But, open your eyes to the signs, man, because for me, you just telling me that story, man, I got goosebumps right now
Dude,
because
likewise.
that was just me hearing that you weren't going to make that jump. You weren't ready to quit.
Yeah.
You needed to quit. God wanted you to
I
quit.
swear. I
So you
swear.
got fired so you would
Swear.
jump back into your entrepreneurship because he was ready.
He
He
was.
just needed you to be ready.
Swear.
And if you weren't going to
Dude,
just
look
keep
at
going
this.
to work
Chills,
every day,
bro.
you wouldn't have been ready. So he said, look, get your ass out of there, man. Come
Exactly.
on. You know what you're
Exactly.
capable of.
So then the following week of me getting fired, my goal was, okay, I'm making 500 at the job. I got to make at least 500 at home. Da, da, da. So the following week I made 500. The following week I made 500. The following week after that I made 1,000. And I said, damn, this is what God was put in. But see, what it is, I'm glad you said the plateau part because when I made the 1,000, I was super busy, 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 busy. And I'm like, this is stressful. Da, 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 it's a lot. Da, da, da. But we have to be grateful for what we ask for. And we got to know when we ask for it, it always doesn't come in the form that we believe it's going to come in.
Yep.
Whether it be me saying, I'm going to quit this job next month, and then I get fired the next week. I'm like, I was happy that it happened. I knew they called me in the office and I'm smiling. And they're like, they're confused. They're like, why are you smiling? Why
Why
are
are
you
you
in
so
such a
happy,
good
man?
mood?
What do
Right.
you know that I don't know?
Right, exactly. But I feel like once you get to a certain form in your life, a certain part of your life where you're really faithful, God oriented, nothing really derails you. And if it does, it's only for a minor moment, and then you get your mind back, your soul and spirit back in line, put your faith back in God, and He gives you these keys. I feel like once you start paying attention to the major keys that God gives you, the major little blessings that He just lands your way, and you start really paying attention to those things, you start seeing how much He really does for you, how
Oh my.
many blessings He really gives you.
Whew.
And whether it be a client, whether it be someone you meet on the, at the basketball game, whatever. I constantly want to tell people, don't be afraid to network outside of networking elements. Meaning, if you're at a basketball game, if you're stretching at the gym, if you're doing sometimes we're so focused on that one thing, we don't intertwine our business or other things. And that's one thing I've been working on is if I'm at the gym and not everybody has seen my card at least once in that gym, then I'm not doing my job right. If I'm at the basketball game and not every single person in there knows I'm a photographer, then I'm not doing my cards right. So then now I've been elevating my networking business and my networking sense to everywhere I go, everything I do is involved with Rodriguez Production.
Yep.
And everybody's getting a card. I don't care if you're 5, I don't care if you're 105, you're getting a card. And so it's been really just teaching me that every moment is a networking moment. Every moment is a business moment. Whether you're having fun, whether you're chilling, having a good time, the more people you let know, the more it intertwines with their subconscious, and they're talking to somebody else. Oh, I'm having a wedding next year. Da, da, da. Oh, I got a perfect photographer. He freaking bothers me all day on Facebook. He's always letting me know at the gym. He's always giving me his card. I got like 7 of them right here.
Here's one, yeah.
Let me give you one. And that's what starts the snowball effect. I think a lot of people think that it's overnight and that it's, just happens to us because of the way we are. Once you start eating right, taking care of yourself, taking care of your mind, body, and soul, everything starts coming into play. And it's just kind of like that puzzle piece that you were saying. You're doing the puzzle piece on yourself now,
Yeah.
and self improvement, self acknowledgement, eating healthy. And I was at a point to where eating healthy was really hard for me to start. And then I started really noticing how my body reacted. And I'd be eating junk one day, going to play basketball the next day, and I'd feel like crap, be tired, missing some layups that I knew I should be making. And then I eat good the next week, and then I go play basketball. My energy's through the roof. I'm killing it. I'm shooting shots I didn't even know I could make.
Yep.
And so like then you
Put
start
me in, coach.
yeah, exactly. Then you start paying attention to like how your body reacts and what happens when you eat certain things and stuff like that. So, dude, I just want to say thank you. It's been like a breath of fresh air speaking with another individual in a different field, with the same mindset, the same goal, the same, just family oriented. God will lead us to our successful paths one on one. And I just want to say congratulations, bro. If you can take one word and mean it towards 2023 towards your goals, what would that word be? My word was structure this year because I am someone that does 100 different things and I'm not always organized. So sometimes the things that's supposed to be go first sometimes are third, and the things that are last sometimes go first because I'm like constantly just doing a little bit of everything. So mine is structure this year because I want to be more organized, more structured, be on time and take things one by one instead of 100 things at once and figuring out what I want to do.
Yeah.
What would your word be, man?
I would say I can't really. I need 2 words. I need 2 words.
Okay.
So they kind of tie hand in hand. However, consistency and discipline.
Ooh.
So the consistency, just everything I want, I just need to do it more. There's so much stuff I want, so many more clients I want, so much more money I want to make, but all that comes down to is remaining consistent.
Fire.
And discipline, because there's a lot of ththings I want to do. It's hard for me to say no sometimes,
No,
I'll
true.
be sitting at the house and, should be doing this, and I'll get a call, hey man, you want to go out? Like, damn it, yeah, I sure do.
Right.
So discipline, man, saying no to a lot of things because I'll tell you, it ain't even going to be a year for me, man. These next 18 months are so focused. I see my end goal. I know what the result's going to be. And I have this vision of the Zachary frame that's going to be there in 18 months. And I'm so focused on it. But in order for me to get that version of Zachary, in order for me to make him a reality, it's got to be consistency and discipline. I've got to have both of them.
Dude, you guys got to tune into this man's words. He's got some key elements. Discipline, 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 discipline. If I can preach this more than anything ever, literally, discipline is what gets you from where you are to where you want to be. And it's by saying no to those sugars and bad habits, saying no to those drinks and those things that make you feel good for right now. Because once you start saying no and you get used to saying no, then it becomes subconscious. And when people offer these bad things to you, whether it be McDonald's or just bad vibes, you're like, no. And it's just nothing. It becomes nothing.
Yep.
And you have to get used to doing that because it becomes uncomfortable at first.
It all comes back to being comfortable, being uncomfortable, because a lot of the stuff that a lot of our friends are going to encourage us to do things. We're never going to give up on our friends, but the reality of it is there's just certain times you got to say no,
100%.
because if what they're asking me to do isn't going to get me closer to my goal, I don't have time for it. And it's not that I don't want to do it. It's not that I don't love my friends. It's not that I don't want to hang out with them. They're just not putting me in a position to be where I want to be, and a real friend's going to respect that. And a real friend's going to understand that. Man, my best friend Anthony, I gotta give him a shout out. My barber.
Our barber.
Go make sure you hit him up, man, because he's the best barber in the damn Indiana. Don't forget it. So Anthony Eldridge, man, that's my boy. But you know what? Me and him, we don't hang out every single day like we used to. It's been weeks or months since I've hung out with them. We're gonna be kicking it tomorrow, but both of us are entrepreneurs. He owns his own barber shop. I got my insurance. I do DJing as well. So many different things I got to shout out to DJ Heartbeats as well. But
okay. Hey, look at my boy.
Between all these business ventures that we've got, there's little to no time for us to actually kick it. We both got kids.
Right.
But you know what? That's still my day one friend. I can call him when I need him. He can call me when he needs me, and we both know that.
That's fire.
So he's been my real friend, my day one, my best friend, but he understands where I want to be, and I understand where he wants to be, and neither one of us are going to get away at that. So, I've got a lot of other friends that fell off because I was focused on my goals.
Likewise.
But the reality of it is they weren't real friends, because my real friends are still here for me.
Dude.
The other ones, they weeded themselves out because they weren't here for me anyways.
Dude, we're supposed to be ending this thing, but I just keep going because it's like, man, that's another key element is that you have to be okay with losing friends and cutting people off. And a lot of the times they'll do it for you. You just set the mark and standard of what you want, and these people will start weeding themselves out. And sometimes it hurts because it's family, it's cousins, it's sometimes mothers, it's sometimes people that
the closest ones to you.
Exactly, that are gonna hurt you and talk about you the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it hurts coming from a family member that you've known your whole life that doesn't believe in you, doesn't want to see you succeed. And it's crazy because I took a picture with Mike Tyson last year, and I had 6 to 15 people message me saying, damn, dude, you're getting good at Photoshop. One of those people was my cousin, and one of them was my brother. And they go, damn, bro. When I first seen him again, they go, damn, bro, how'd you do that Photoshop? It looks so good. Da, da, da. I was at the point where I was like, I don't even want to describe myself to you, bro, because
you don't need an explanation.
You're down here and I'm up here. You don't want to see my success. You don't want to see me elevate.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to see me prosper. And it hurts when it's the ones that you're next to love every day of your life. And dude, sometimes you have to get used to that.
I got to say one more thing on that point, though, too, is because a lot of the time people will put their fears and their limitations on you. You know what I mean? So, you know how many times I've been told, like, oh my God, it's a commission job. You only make money if you sell something. That motivates me, man. That means if I don't sell a policy, I'm not getting a paycheck.
Fire.
It's the ones, they put their own limitations because they can't do it.
Ooh.
So they think you can't do it.
Ooh.
Okay. So yeah, there's 4 things that are going to motivate people to do things what they do. It's going to be revenge, revenue, recognition, and rush. So you're either got a revenge because someone told you you couldn't do it. That's
Right.
me right now. I got a lot of people who said I wouldn't be successful. A lot of people, teachers, principals, family, friends, you'll never be successful because of this, because of
Right.
that. Look at me now, making more money than they make.
100%.
The recognition, because a lot of people love recognition,
100%.
so they want to be noticed, whatever it is. Revenue, money always, motivates everybody.
Yeah.
It's the root of all evil.
Yeah.
But that rush, the rush is kind of like the high you get from things.
Ooh, fire.
So when I sit down with a client and I'm able to uncover that puzzle and find that missing piece, that rush I get means so much more to me than the paycheck I made from that sale. So
Ooh.
chasing that rush constantly, and it's like, okay, where's my next one at? Is it this house or is it that
Right.
house? Is it you? Is it them? You never know. So whatever it is, you had said earlier, make sure everyone knows what you do. Man, I'm not a secret agent. I'll tell you that. I think people get annoyed with me sometimes because I don't care if I'm at Walmart, man. If I'm checking out at Walmart, guess what? The person in front of me and the person behind me is going to know what I'm doing by the time we're
Fire.
done. Hey, man, looks like we're line buddies for the next couple minutes. How you
Right.
doing? They'll always ask, oh, so what do you do for a living? I'm glad that you asked, man.
Exactly.
So I try to always make sure that you never know who's searching for what you've got. You know what I mean? Whether it's your product, whether it's your knowledge, whether it's your motivation, whether it's the words that are coming out. You
100%.
never know what you can offer somebody to make their day better, to make their life better. So don't be secretive. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Make sure everyone knows.
This man is dropping gems, literally gems. Strangers will make you rich, guys.
Whew.
Let me tell you guys that. And let me tell you this, that he is such a powerful influence and such a powerful mind that I know he's going to get to where he wants to be. And I know he's going to be successful. Having this conversation not only gave me chills multiple times, but it felt like I was having a conversation in the mirror. And literally, when you get with these type of individuals, when you get with the same like-minded individuals, things start just sparking. We could go on for 45 more minutes, but it's really, I want to get these key points to you guys so that you guys understand that it's not always fun and games, it's not always pretty, but we are going to be everlasting, continue to grind, be dedicated, be disciplined, be blessed, and God is going to lead the rest of the way, man. Thank you for coming on the show. We're definitely going to have another one because I know this one, it only scratches the surface,
Yeah.
and this is the real key points that they needed to hear before they get in depth.
I want to end on one key point here is if you hang out with 4 broke people, you're going to become the 5th. If you hang out with 4 millionaires, you're going to become the 5th. So hang out with people who have the same goals as you, who have the same ambition as you, and has the same grind as you, man. And hang around like-minded people, and you're going to do big things.
Dude, fire. So with you saying that, I'm at the point where I was hanging out with those 4 broke people, and I knew I was going to be that 5th broke person. And I always thought, because my mindset and everything was different from those 4 people, that I wouldn't become that. But it's kind of a law of attraction. It's kind of a law that once you be adapted with those broke people, you get those broke people habits and mentalities, and you just mindset, and you just spending money, not caring. Da, da, da. So I'm glad I went broke, because once I got broke, I said, I've been here before. I never want to do it again. Let me get my financials in order. Let me write everything down, get everything on a piece of paper, see it, visualize it, see what I can take out, see what I can do to prosper, and go from there. And now I'm at the point where I've been manifesting in my life, meditating in my life, and bringing these positive people into my life, bringing these millionaires into my life. And people were like, how do you do it? How do you literally focus on these points? Meditating for me has brought millionaires into my life to where I'm not out here reaching, trying to do all these other things. Right before, like I told you about the job, I was meditating, I need to have more positive influence, more positive people around me. A week later, a luxury chauffeur company calls me, and yesterday I was able to shoot for a Rolls Royce and a Mercedes Sprinter van.
Come on now, let's go.
That's manifestation. That is belief. That is something that you can't see, teach, or talk to somebody about. It's literally about focusing, and channeling your energy of what you really want, because that's what's going to come into play.
100%.
Dude, thank you for coming on the show. They needed to hear this. We're going to have a part
Thanks
2.
for having me, man.
God bless you guys. Take care. Until next time, deuces. Dude, that was the best interview I've had.
That was fucking
That
dope,
was
man.
fucking fire.
That was dope.
Dude, so fire.